Welcome to 8 reasons why you should watch and subscribe to Ace of Hearts Storycast. Some of you may have already watched a story on the channel and subscribed. We appreciate your support. If you liked one of our stories, we have some other great content on Ace of Hearts Storycast that you might enjoy as well. This brief video will showcase every story currently on our channel. Each story has about 1 minute dedicated to it, and they are presented in the order that they were published on YouTube. First, Ace and Trixie will talk about why the story is cool. They will then show a brief clip from the video. There is a link for each story in the description to this video.
Hey everyone, it's Ace.
And Trixie.
Yes, these are the AI versions of our voices, but you are hearing our real words written by us.
As we've said before, our real voices suck.
We decided to do this sizzle reel to give potential listeners an overview of the content that we offer on Ace of Hearts Storycast.
A quick disclosure before we begin. There are not any story spoilers in this video.
Also, please keep in mind that our stories are 100% fictional.
Our videos are not news stories or documentaries.
Some of our stories feature scenarios that would probably be ludicrous to pull off in real life, just like your favorite TV shows and movies.
We take poetic license with some facts, just as all screenwriters do.
We don't think about plausibility as we write story treatments. That's a job for Mythbusters.
Our only consideration as we write our treatments is how well the story will entertain our audience.
Please keep those facts in mind as you enjoy our content.
We've had to shut more than a few commenters down over trivial items in our totally fictional stories.
Our sole reason for even being here is to entertain and provide high-quality content to our audience. Thanks for understanding.
Oh, by the way, we know our logo contains a spade and not a heart.
We think the logo looks cooler with the spade instead of a heart, and the name sounds cooler with hearts in it rather than spades.
We did it our way, and we think it looks cool.
Okay, so with that, let's jump right in.
Number 1. The Decision. Why it's cool.
Okay, so here's why the decision is cool, in my opinion. Everyone has met someone like Johnny before. A nice guy who gets screwed over by a selfish partner.
Johnny could have shrunk in the face of betrayal, but he decided to fight back. The video is a study of what happens when a human gets pushed too far.
Keep in mind that with every story we taught ourselves a little more about producing animation. We were still experimenting with black and white and monotones for the decision. Let's check out a short clip.
10. Johnny, my dear, it's not what you think. I really love you with all of my heart. 9.
Hold on right there, cheater.
My meetings with Melvin mean nothing.
I was just joking, man.
8. It's just sex, once a month.
7.
Once a month? What is this? The National Guard of fucking. You had 4 kids with this guy, bitch.
6.
It hasn't affected our marriage one bit.
5. I'm really sorry. 4. I don't want to die. 3. Please. 2. Please. 1.
Number 2. Paid in Full. Why it's cool.
Paid in Full is a classic monkey branching tale.
But it's kind of twisted. A medical student falls for an island playboy and ditches her husband for him.
It kind of seemed like she was hustling in reverse.
Sometimes it's not the story itself, but the character reactions that drive the entertainment. I think this story is a great example of that. For Paid in Full, we were still thinking black and white art might be the best look. We were going for an aha, take on me video feel.
Let's check out a short clip.
Kim, your marriage is over. No matter what happens from here.
Maxine explained.
I don't agree with you.
Kim disagreed.
In the months before I go home, I will wean myself off of Mario and prepare to return to Andy.
Do you really think Andy is stupid, Kim? Do you really believe that he didn't notice anything different about you on his recent visit?
Maxine inquired.
Well, he did ask me if anything was different on my end the day before you went home. But I used the stress of my residency as an excuse, and he bought it hook, line, and sinker. He will welcome me back with open arms in 18 months. Then I will move with him to complete his residency, and we will have our husband and wife pediatric oncology clinic.
Kim explained enthusiastically.
Okay, but what about Mario?
Maxine asked.
Mario knows what time it is.
Kim replied.
He will move on when the time comes.
I see. You sure are truly ruthless, Kim. Good luck with all of that.
Number 3. The Hourglass. Why it's cool.
This is a classic Hobson's choice.
Well, maybe more like a Sophie's Choice Ace. In a Hobson's choice, there is only one real option. In this story, Carla and Billy had a variety of potential choices.
The entertainment value in this story lives in the tension of the choice and how that tension impacts the characters.
Save my sister by aborting my baby, or have my baby and watch my sister die. It's hard to top. For the Hourglass, We switched to a watercolor art style and decided to present the entire story in color to see how it would look. Let's check out a short clip.
Carla, this is our baby we are talking about. A baby it took us over 5 long years to finally conceive. Please, you can't do this. Look, I'll get tested. And if I am a match, I will give Lucy a kidney.
I already looked into that possibility,
Carla replied.
and you would most likely be a match.
Okay, so why aren't we talking about me donating a kidney? I asked sincerely. Carla appeared to hesitate. Honey, what?
Mom doesn't want Lucy to have a kidney from a man.
Carla finally blurted out. Do I have to tell you how ridiculous that is? I asked her.
No, honey. I understand that kidneys are not gender specific. And before you ask, I explained that to Mom. But she won't budge. Honey, I'm tired and I'm going to rest now. I have heard you out fully. I will sleep on this and give you my decision tomorrow.
Carla stated flatly. Where do I come in? Isn't this our decision? I asked.
Yes, it is our baby inside of me, Billy. But it is being carried in my body. And therefore, it is my choice. Good night.
Fool me once. Why it's cool.
To be honest, we kind of wish we would have held off on releasing this story until the channel was more established.
This story kind of fell through the cracks as we were working to establish the channel.
But it's a really, really good story.
It's a 3-parter, intricate plot, action-packed and funny with a satisfying ending.
We hope a few more people will check it out as a result of viewing this.
It also acts as a backdoor pilot for a weekly action-adventure series that we hope to roll out early next year.
The Adventures of Shelley Blassingale. If you enjoy action-adventure, Navy aviation, and intricate stories that take our heroes on adventures all over the world, the Shelley Blassingale series is for you.
He is introduced in Fool Me Once as he assists the main character out of a big jam that his wife put him in. Let's check out a short clip.
Please take the money and move on with your life, Dave.
Kate encouraged.
You're only 37 years old. You have plenty of time to find someone who will really love you. Consider the money a fair fee for me to rent you as a starter husband for 15 years.
Kate then laughed. And with that, Kate placed her phone and wedding rings on the living room table next to the children's phones.
Please don't ever try to contact me or the children, Dave.
She stated.
We are leaving everything here, our clothes and all of our belongings. We need nothing from you or this house. We are stepping into a new life of luxury. I wish you luck. Goodbye, Dave.
I was speechless. I just stood there with my mouth wide open in disbelief.
Number 5. The Bat Flip. Why it's cool.
This is our most watched video.
The audience really liked this short-form story.
The way it came together was really humorous.
It's a different take on the It. It's only for one night narrative that appears in many of the stories on YouTube.
We were thinking, what if the guy actually did something about it once his wife left for her magical evening?
We just kept bouncing hilarious scenarios off of each other until we arrived at what you see in the story.
It's a quick ride, intense, satisfying and hilarious at the same time.
Let's check out a short clip.
We need to talk.
Her voice a mix of sympathy and pity.
You came home early. I planned on being gone already by the time you got home. Marty, I'm going out on a date with Carrie. He will be here in 20 minutes to pick me up.
Carrie is Christie's boss, Carrington Rushing, the CEO of the hospital group that Christie works for.
You mean your boss, Carrington Rushing?
Marty asked.
Yes.
Christie replied.
We have been connecting over work lunches and break times, but we both have decided to take our relationship to the next level.
Relationship?
Marty asked.
What in the hell are you talking about, Christy? Are you saying you were in a relationship with this guy?
Yes and no, Christy replied. I love you, Marty, and I think I want to stay with you for always. But there is just something about Carrie. He makes me laugh and gives me validation I have never felt before. I want to explore what a romantic relationship with Carrie would look like. No, I need this, Marty. I was only 27 when we married. I'm going to spend some time with Carrie. We are going to dinner at Atos, then to the dance hall. I will then spend the night with him at his lake cabin and will return to you in the morning. I make no promises that I will remain your loving wife after tonight, Marty. But I do promise that I will return, if only to initiate our breakup. I make no apologies for looking out for myself first. So there, I have been fully transparent with you. So it's not cheating. Now, if you will excuse me, I need to finish getting ready.
Christie declared with a dismissive tone. Marty felt like he had been hit in the chest with a sledgehammer. Number 6. Anatomy of an Affair. Why it's cool.
Okay, so Ace and I are going to make a small confession here. We spend a lot of time listening to our contemporaries in the relationship story space here on YouTube.
There are a good number of channels that cut and paste postings from Reddit into AI voiceover software, add a generic background and presto, it's ready to publish.
It seems like there are maybe 10 or 12 really good stories that show up on every channel. It gets repetitive.
But there are some channels that are really creative.
Ace and I like the multi-perspective stories that tell the same story from 2 or more viewpoints.
Anatomy of an Affair was born from that seed.
It is the story of a garden variety affair told from the perspective of the wife and then the husband. Part 1 is the wife's story, and Part 2 is the husband's story.
It's thought-provoking and offers an inside look at infidelity and the motivation surrounding it.
It also has a couple of fun twists. Let's check out a short clip.
I can't explain it, but as soon as I met Monty, I felt something. I am not one of the many women in these stories who had very few partners and was feeling unsure about what they may have missed when they were single. I had my share of boyfriends and casual hookups during my single life, and I was secure in my mind that James was the one all the way. I did not feel unfulfilled and had no need for additional validation. James rarely worked late. He treated me like a queen every day and worshipped me in the bedroom every night as if I were a goddess. He was an exceptional husband, father, and lover in every way. With all of that said, I still felt something coming from Monty.
Number 7. Gratefulness Unchained. Why it's cool.
This story is very near and dear to Ace and I.
We are involved in education in our day jobs and take advocating for children seriously.
This is the story of a man whose spirit had been broken by the sting of a brutal betrayal.
And a sweet 7-year-old child who was running out of hope to keep living.
Somehow, they find each other and they each find their own path to healing. I just love this story. It's heart-wrenching and heartwarming at the same time.
I was at my desk just thinking about all of the children who lacked the love of a real family this holiday season. I opened my laptop and this story came pouring out.
If you only watch one of the stories we talk about in this video, please make it this one.
It is dedicated to every child and adult who needs to feel some hope.
Let's check out this supercut.
As soon as I got settled in my room, I checked online and saw that Allison had taken all of the funds in our checking and savings accounts and closed them. She also closed all of our joint credit cards and had laid a claim on my Marine and school system pension accounts. Her ambush caught me completely off guard. I was on my heels trying to catch up. I still had way more questions than answers. I looked at Allison's social media accounts. I was blocked on everything. When I logged into Facebook as my mom, I saw the following post. "Here's to new beginnings," was the caption under a picture of 2 champagne flutes. Allison had found someone else. She has successfully brainwashed my children into thinking that I left their mother and refused to see them. Later, I heard a knock on my hotel room door. It was a process server. Allison was suing me to get my parental rights dissolved so Stan could adopt my children and become their father. I lost my children that day. They declared me an unfit parent and dissolved all of my rights to Anthony Jr. and Crystal.
Number 8. The Layover. Why it's cool.
Okay, this is our latest story release.
We are fulfilling a promise that we made in our channel introduction video.
Husbands cheat too. So we will produce stories where the husband is the unfaithful spouse.
The Layover tells the story of a seemingly perfect husband who is secretly leading a double life.
And the consequences involved.
It's a 1040 shorty. The story moves right along and has a very satisfying ending for the betrayed spouse.
Our next couple of one-episode story releases will also feature cheating husbands.
Let's check out this supercut.
When I woke up, it was morning. My head was killing me. I tried to figure out what happened. The last thing I clearly remembered was my face being buried in JoJo's bosom. I also remembered the sweetness of her strawberry-flavored lip balm. Also, my face was glazed over with what could only be female arousal fluid. I had plenty of experience with women before I got married and knew what it meant to get my face glazed. I then remembered flashes of JoJo being in my bed lying on top of me. She was nowhere to be found. She left a note and her number. I'm not going to sugarcoat this, I felt amazing physically. That feeling was in direct conflict with a pressing feeling of guilt from inside of me. I knew I had cheated, but I also failed to see the actual harm done. I was so drunk, after all. And so began my affair. One week, when I arrived back in Amsterdam, JoJo came right over to see me.
Chuck, we need to talk.
She said with hesitation. What's up? I replied.
Chuck, I'm pregnant.
She replied flatly.
I must have missed a pill sometime during your last visit. What are we going to do?
Time seemed to stand still for a beat or two, and then my subconscious took over. I took her in my arms, kissed her deeply and told her that I wanted her to have my baby. She cried tears of joy as she held me close. And thus, my second family was born.
Coming attractions.
To wrap this up, let's take a look at 2 projects that we are working on.
Both properties are in the format of a weekly series.
The Adventures of Shelley Blassingale explores the case files of Captain Shelley Blassingale IV, retired Navy aviator, former NCIS special agent, and the world's best private investigator.
Naval aviation, espionage, mystery, and intrigue are some of the things our audience can look forward to from Shelley and his team. This will be a weekly series.
We are also developing The Bagman, a weekly series that explores the life and times of Mr. Frank Highsmith.
Frank is a successful corporate management consultant with an interesting side hustle, murder for hire. But Frank only kills cheating spouses.
As a matter of fact, he's been doing it for 20 years. This series will feature travel, drama, mystery, action-adventure, and intrigue. Frank will be introduced to our audience as part of an upcoming story. Look for both series to be launched in early 2025.
We will also continue to produce short and long-form one-episode stories. Our goal is to keep our audience engaged and coming back to the channel all through the week.
And now for a special announcement.
Listeners, we have heard you.
You hate AI-generated voices. Here's a secret. We do too, but we cannot afford to use a live voice cast. We feel our writing is worthy of live voiceover, but at $1,500 a story, we just can't do it right now.
That is where you come in. Ace of Hearts is making a 1 million subscriber in 1 year pledge.
Starting today, if we can gain 1 million subscribers by December 31st, 2025, we will switch to live voice casting on all of our videos.
It is a lofty, audacious goal, but we are determined to make it a reality, with your help.
Please subscribe and share Ace of Hearts-Storycast's high-quality audio story content with your networks. We need our subscribers to engage with our content as much as possible.
Thanks in advance for your help. Together, we can completely ditch AI and take our storytelling art to the next level. We will keep you posted on our progress. See you next time.
Thanks for viewing the Ace of Hearts Storycast Sizzle Reel. As always, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and follow Ace of Hearts Storycast.